Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beth, and in today's video I'm going to be swatching all 6 of the Curator eyeshadow palettes from Hourglass. So yes, I did purchase all 6 of these myself. They retail for $68, however, they launched a little bit early on the Bloomingdale's site, so I was able to get these for buy one, get one half off. So I went ahead and purchased all 6 for review purposes. So I will have timestamps down below if you'd like to jump ahead to the swatches, but I just want to give you a little bit of extra kind of background now. So as I said, these are $68, and I really do think these are, I'm going to go ahead and start getting these out of the boxes. I think these are Hourglass's answer to the YSL quads that have been so popular. So those are the exact same price. These you get 4 grams of product, and these you also get 4 grams of product. So these are a pretty direct comparison. I'll go ahead and take Captivating Dunes out of this package. It's one of their newer ones, just so we can compare packaging a little bit when we get to it. But yeah, Hourglass had several different eyeshadows before this launch. They had the ones that were in that long packaging with the kind of wavy or melded design. And I think they discontinued those and they brought out their kind of previous iteration of these, which were those single eyeshadows that you purchased for like $30 a pop. And then you had to buy the packaging separately. So kind of a more makeup artist style of purchasing shadow. However, I think the expense and the way they did it, the pans weren't magnetic. They just kind of popped into a different package, which is not my favorite way of doing things. I really admire, again, Danessa Myricks and how she's doing her eyeshadows because they're all kind of interoperable, if you will. So anyway, so this is how Hourglass has chosen to do this newest launch. So again, just comparing them to the YSL quads quickly. The Hourglass palette has this dent or bump out, I guess, on the top of their packaging, which is not ideal. Otherwise they would be pretty sleek, but it does prevent them from maybe stacking as compactly as you would want. The YSL packaging, I mean, everyone seems to love it, but it is a little bit more bulky generally. Part of that is that you do get 2 little applicators in each quad, and then you do get a pretty sizable mirror as well. The Hourglass doesn't have any kind of application tool, but you do get a mirror, which Hourglass actually designed to be removable. So you can see there's that little divot there, and what you would do, I have my trusty metal spatula here, you can actually stick a tool. You want to be careful when you do this. But the idea here is that it does lift out relatively easily once you get a tool in there. But this whole part actually pops out so that I think once you're done with your eyeshadows, this is all metal and glue, I guess. So you can just recycle this. And they do have in their packaging instructions, which I know no one reads, but yeah, it says recycling instructions: open compact A and insert flat tool, not included, into notch B at bottom of mirror frame, remove mirror frame, C and discard in waste bin, place empty tin palette in recycling bin. So I don't know if that's legible there. I do admire them for making that effort to make these recyclable. My preference is for magnetic pans that can be easily popped out and put into a different palette, or I was really hoping that I would be able to kind of customize each palette to create my perfect combination of shades. However, that is not really a possibility unless you just destroy this packaging. And because they did make this component removable, you can see where the mirror is kind of set back at an angle. The magnet is actually in this component. I think magnets I'm not entirely sure if magnets are recyclable, but it would have been nice if maybe they had made this part removable the same way they made this part, so that we could have had that magnetic capability. That would have really, I think, improved the overall functionality of these palettes, because the way they market them, they do say that you can mix and match. And just to show you, again, like there's no magnet in there. I think the magnet is somewhere. No, so I think it's that little thing there. Yeah, so that's one of my major critiques. Also the shape of the palette and the fact that they're all the same. It does make it harder to distinguish. We do have the name of the palette on the back with the shade, numbers, and formula, but that's about all you get in terms of telling them apart. So if you only have two, I guess, or you want to have two within easy reach, and you want to open both of them and go back and forth, then I guess you can do that. But any more than that, I think it becomes a little unwieldy. These do have a 12-month shelf life, and they are made in France. And the YSL ones, for reference, 24-month shelf life. And these ones do contain talc. I think these are talc-free, if that's important to you. And where are you made? Made in Italy. So if you have any kind of preferences there. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly just open all of these. If you want to see any detailed swatches between any of the Hourglass and the YSL, you can let me know and I can post those on Instagram. So I'll just show you, and I apologize, the reflection of the gold metal is going to play havoc a little bit with my camera, so I might have to remove some of these while I'm actually swatching. Okay, so that's what they look like in the pan. And again, let's see if I can fit all this in. So I have a total of 5 YSL palettes now. So this is the new one, Captivating Dunes, like I mentioned. And color-wise, that one might be most similar to this all matte palette. But of course you don't get the shimmer shades in there. So Stora Dolls was the previous kind of cooler toned neutral palette. I also have Spontini Lilies. And I think there is one of these quads that is described as more of a peach. So I might just pull these out a little bit. So those two are probably the most similar. This one is Idealist, for reference. Yeah, so there's definitely, I think, some similarities there. And then I also have Over Noir and Over Brune. So I don't think any are going to be really similar to Over Noir. It's just more cool toned. And then finally Over Brune. Again, some of these kind of more neutral quads perhaps, but yeah, that is the kind of overview there in case anyone was curious. All right, so let's go into each quad. And I don't mind them not including the applicators. In fact, I think I prefer it. The mirror is going to be bigger on the YSL quad, but then the overall palette is bigger as well. So just for an overview here, we have Minimalist, which is an all matte quad. And these are all named after art movements, which is why they're called the curator or curator. Futurist is a warm palette, is how they describe it, so warm. And then we have Cool is Modernist, which is this one. So that's your Cool palette. So we have matte, warm, and cool. And then we have Realist is neutral, is how they describe that one. So that one is neutral. And then we have an all metallic palette. That one is Expressionist. So you want to kind of compare the all metallic to the all matte. And then this one, I think they just call Rose, is Idealist. So there they all are together. Okay, so let's start with the all matte, I think. And let me know if you'd like to see any of these on the eyes. I think for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to be doing swatches, but I'm happy to incorporate these palettes into future videos or an Instagram reel if I get around to it. Okay, so the Minimalist is the matte palette. It says less is everything, universal matte shades for ultra wearable definition. And again, we just have numbers on the back here and they say matte, but on the website we have a matte neutral beige. I feel pretty silky. We have a muted taupe beige. We have a charcoal brown and a deep brown. So one of these pans has the H embossing, which I am going to promptly remove. Okay, so that is the all matte Minimalist palette. Again, they feel pretty silky. And with Hourglass, you don't expect maybe the same type of shadow as you would with like Natasha Denona, for example, or Pat McGrath. But I think that looks like it's going to blend pretty well. All right, so next up, let's do the Realist. This is the neutral palette. So it says true dimension, polished neutrals, and mixed finishes level up any look. So we have, it looks like one matte, one satin, one shimmer, and one metallic. So you get all 4 formulas, I guess, in this one little quad here. So we have a matte neutral peach. We have a satin dusty rose. We have a shimmer bronzed rose with gold pearls. And then finally a metallic bronze. So yeah, not the creamiest, I think, for the metallic, but it feels very smooth. So that is the Realist neutral palette. A little bit more warm leaning for my preferences, but in any case. All right, so let's do the warm palette next. So that is the Futurist. So this one, it says, be the visionary, an inspiring blend of bronze and copper tones for a radiant glow. And you get 2 mattes in this palette plus a shimmer and a metallic. And again, this is the warm little quad here. So the shimmer is a pale champagne. The matte is a warm sand. The metallic is a golden copper. And the matte is an ochre brown. So that is the warm Futurist. The champagne shimmer shade has a little slight kind of duochrome quality to it, I think. So let's see, I think I can fit 3 on each arm. Okay, so that is the warm Modernist right there compared to the neutral and the all matte. So I'll give you the full arm and also do a little bit more of a okay. So I'm going to do the remaining 3 on my other arm, and I am right-handed, so this might be a little interesting. Let's do the Cool palette next. So this is the Modernist palette, it's the Cool one. It says, effortlessly cool, sophisticated plum shades import depth for a modern, smoky eye. So this one you get 3 mattes and just 1 metallic shade. So, how do I want to do this? Okay, I guess I'll go in reverse. Swatching order. So we have the matte, soft, creamy beige, and obviously your pinky finger has the least amount of like strength and control. The metallic is a plum taupe, which looks pretty. And then we have a matte cool taupe and a matte black plum. So I'm trying to figure out why the swatch looks like, maybe I touched the packaging on the exit there. Okay, so let's do, of course the texture closest to your wrist gets a little weird. All right, so that's a pretty soft metallic. And that is the, so really that darkest shade is probably gonna drive the look the most, just given how soft those other ones are. So I think that really is going to be a pretty smoky look that you create. So if you're just looking for one, maybe two to pick up for kind of easy everyday looks, I don't think this is the one you probably want to go for. I have to be careful I don't touch the desk with my arm. Let's do Expressionist next. So this is the all metallic, as you can see on the back there. It says, shine on, washes of wearable metallics make an eye-catching statement. So we have metallic pink opal, metallic warm medium peach, metallic taupe brown, and metallic true gold bronze. So those are the 4 all metallics. And I think I might have slightly touched that one with my other finger. It's a pretty kind of olivey shade almost. So again, that is the all metallic, and that is the, I think, cool toned palette. And the final one here is the rose palette called Idealist. And I'm just wiping my fingers off on a damp makeup eraser. Okay, so let's go into this final one here, and you get 2 shimmers, a satin, and a matte. So we have a shimmer pearlescent pink. We have a shimmer rose gold. We have a satin soft coral. And finally, a matte rosewood. So those are the 4 from the rose. And I think I can fit these. Again, a little bit more peach than pink, I would say. And yeah, that shade, it looks similar to the one at the bottom of my left arm here. A little bit lighter though. So let me just wipe off my fingers, and I'll give you my really hot takes just based on swatching and color and formula kind of composition. So those are all of the 6 palettes here, and obviously they have 4 shades each, but maybe I'll try to kind of break them up in editing somehow. So I think if you want the most like versatile palette, I would say go for the all matte Minimalist, because you can incorporate kind of single shadows with it, like an Urban Decay Moondust, for example, or whatever your favorite shimmer satin metallic shade is. So that's the one at the top of my left arm. The one at the top of my right arm, I think is going to be the least, well, it's going to give you a very defined look, let's say that, unless you just use the top 3, maybe, with the last one just being very soft. Again, I haven't put these on the eyes, So that's kind of my initial thoughts. The all metallic palette could be really pretty to go with the all matte. So those two together right there. That's a very kind of makeup artist thing to do, is to keep your matte and your shimmer or metallic shades separate, so that no kind of shimmer or metallic gets into your matte shades. So that could be a good combination for you. The like neutral, warm, and rose shades, I'd say you probably only need one of those. So that is this section of this arm and this section of this arm. I would say the looks you're probably going to get out of those three palettes, it's probably going to be fairly similar, or at least look fairly similar on the eyes. So yeah, if you were thinking about purchasing more than one, I would suggest just maybe picking one. But yeah, that is all 6 swatched on my arm. I'll give you one more kind of close look. So that's the rose, the metallic, all metallic. And again, they're not like super foiled or anything like that. And the cool. And this one, I was getting some transfer. Let's see. I'm pretty sure that one is the neutral and that one is the warm, for reference. And then we have the all matte. So that's going to do it, I think, for this little video. Again, let me know if you have any more questions, or if you want to see any more swatch comparisons or demos on the eyes. But that is all of them kind of reunited. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.